Oh, hey everybody. Today is Sunday, December 12th, I think. 2021. Yeah, it's the 12th. 2021, 12:28 a.m. And I just want to make this video to say that in the new year, I think I'm going to start making videos again. And I think I'll do what I did before and name names and institutions and all that. It's very stressful. It's very hard. But we are in a sad state if we can't criticize public figures and public institutions, right? I mean, that's the absence of freedom of speech by definition. I got my social media account on Facebook deleted. Okay, I don't know why it was deleted, but I lost like 11 years of family photos and videos. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm sure they're in the cloud somewhere on one of my other accounts, but I never deal with those cloud accounts. I just, basically working on Facebook. And I got a couple strikes on my YouTube channel. I was doing a lot of criticism of First Baptist Church, St. Petersburg. I was naming Dr. Glen Money by name, John Rice by name, Tim Whipple over at Bridgestone by name, the guy, I think it's Grace Community, I can't remember his name. So I wasn't naming him by name, but I was naming his church by name. And I ended up getting my account deleted. So that's pain. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. That's painful, and it's very intimidating. It's extremely authoritarian. It's evil. It's evil. I don't think the vast majority of people understand how evil it is. The founding fathers of this country understood a lot. George Washington wrote 19 volumes of books on the issue of freedom, and it's really fascinating how this works, because Abraham Lincoln famously said that, and this is going to be a crude paraphrase, but he said that the things that appear on the surface to be most complex and profound, once you pierce the superficial skin, are oftentimes the most shallow. And the things that appear to be the simplest and the most mundane on the surface, once you pierce the skin of the thing, they are the deepest and the most profound. So with respect to freedom, God made Adam and Eve in the Bible, if you believe that account, which I do. I don't. I'm a fundamentalist Christian in the sense that I believe that the Bible is the inerrant Word of God, but I'm a liberal theologian in the sense that I don't necessarily believe that anybody to date has codified the correct interpretation of the Word of God, right? There's a lot of people that have strongly held and detailed interpretations that I don't necessarily, that I oftentimes don't believe are correct. But that's another thing. That's a whole other thing. So, so what I'm going to say? So I got my social media account. I believe it was because of my criticism of First Baptist Church, St. Petersburg. I believe that, and Dr. Money, because first of all, I had the account for 11 years, and everybody knows how I am. I mean, I say exactly what I think in living color. Like, I don't really hold back, but with all the censorship and the deleting, you kind of almost have to hold back, otherwise you're scrambling around trying to create new accounts every other month, which I've only had one account deleted, but I just friended a lady who's had 11 accounts deleted. There's a guy named Scott McKay. His screen name is Patriot Street Fighter. He's had like 26 accounts deleted. Michael Jaco has had 7 accounts on YouTube, not necessarily Facebook accounts, but it's just all across social media. You know, there's like 20, there's many, there's like 20, 30, 40 different platforms now. But, you know, the monster megaliths are the obvious ones: Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Rumble's coming up, but nothing compares to the megalith, you know. So the megalith monsters, the YouTube, you know. So anyway, although if you go to Rumble, you'll see some people with like 300,000 followers. I mean, Rumble's pretty big. It's pretty big. But anyway, it's painful to get. So I had this thing for 11 years, and then I was being very critical, of First Baptist Church, St. Petersburg, Dr. Glen Money, and then Dr. Money blocked me, and then within about a week, I had a 30-day ban on Facebook. I had never had any ban that I can remember. I think it was my first day ban. I got a 30-day ban. And then as soon as that ban was over, like within another week, my account was deleted. So is it a coincidence that 11 years and then within a 90-day period, I had a ban and an account deletion of the time that Dr. Money blocked me? I don't know. I'm not a big coincidence theorist. You know, I tend to connect dots more than just leaving dots randomly floating around unconnected, you know. So to me, there's a connection, you know. And you think about how evil that is. Okay, so people don't understand how evil it is to take away people's right to speech. And the reason it's evil, Alex Jones taught me this, is because it's the equivalent of tying somebody's hands and feet and then beating them up, okay? Physically, and it's metaphorically speaking. And the reason it's that way is because once you take away a person's right to speech, a right to represent themselves, a right to say what they think, then you can say whatever you want to about them, and they can't defend themselves. Okay? So I hope that makes it really clear as to why it's so evil to take away a person's right to speech. And people like Dr. Money, people like Tim Whipple, people like, I'm going to Idlewild Baptist now for another week or so. These guys, they all have a giant platform, like a 300-ton megaphone to speak from. But then they got to go and take away other people, like somebody with 20 followers. They have to go and, you know, or 700 friends, or, you know, you get like 50, I get like 50 views on a video, you know. I mean, they got to take away my right to speech because, you know, see how evil that is? I mean, it's bad. It's just bad. I mean, and like I said, Tim Whipple never took away my right to speech. I don't know if Dr. Money took away my right to free speech, but somebody did. I don't think Facebook just like randomly came around and picked my account and decided to delete it, you know, because I watch what other people are saying, and it's like, wow, man, I can't believe they're getting away with saying that. But now I've seen like 100 of these people. I'm like, well, wait a minute, something isn't adding up here. All these people are saying and they're not getting in trouble. And I said, okay, some things, and I got my account deleted. Something isn't adding up here. So the only possibility that I can think of that, you know, is that I was singled out, not by corporate, not by Facebook, not by the Skynet, or, you know, not like the big monolithic corporate monstrous entity, but by people at my level reporting me, right? And that's the thing about totalitarianism, is that a totalitarian high-level ruler empowers local control freaks, right, to take over their own little fiefdoms, their own little domains, and to exercise totalitarian tactics and entertain totalitarian spirits, and to develop their own totalitarian spirit within the context of their own little miniature fiefdom. Because birds of a feather flock together, right? These little miniature totalitarians, once they sort of tune in to the totalitarian spirit of the megalith, of the monolithic corporate monster, right? Then it's like, oh, wait a minute. If I am sympathetic or congruent with them in my spirit, in my attitude, then if I report somebody, right, they're going to be sympathetic to my report because we're on the same wavelength, and they're going to take action, or they're more likely to take action against this little pequeño, this little, peanut, this little person who has 50 views on his video. They're going to take action against him because they're sympathetic with my spirit. All right, I don't know if that, some people, they get weird when you use a word like spirit, but my attitude, right? My basic attitude, right? A spirit is like attitude. It's like, it's like point of view, world view. So anyway, but I think I'm just going to do it again, and if I just have to go account, and just do like these other guys and get 20, 30, 40, 50 accounts, okay, fine, that's whatever. But, people need to be evil, local leaders need to be exposed, and every leader needs to be tested. I mean, even the Bible says that teachers, it doesn't say leaders, but teachers, a teacher is a leader. Teachers, have a higher standard, But the irony is that these leaders, they don't want to be tested. They just want to be stroked. They want to be worshipped, right? They enjoy that. And it's understandable. I understand that. And they've probably enjoyed that for a long time because nobody has had a platform to criticize them from until now. It's like Dr. Money wanted me to come meet him. I'm like, I don't want to meet you. What do you want? What do I want to meet you for? I have a platform. I can say whatever. You can say whatever you want, and I can say whatever I want. I mean, what's the problem? There's no problem. If you want to talk about it, talk to me about it on the platform. And then everybody can see, and everybody can judge for themselves. He's right or he's right. I agree with him. I agree with him. I mean, it's not a big deal. But it becomes a big deal when they start stomping on people's rights. It becomes a big deal. It becomes a big deal when they have an inappropriate reaction, like they get angry. See, as soon as they get angry, that's a clear. Like now, Tim Whipple got angry, okay, and that's a pretty substantial hint that something's wrong. Okay, if somebody criticizes you, you shouldn't get angry. If you're a leader, I mean, you should expect to be criticized. That's what leaders do. I mean, that's why you're a leader, because you can handle that, and a normal person, a more average type person can't. I understand that. I probably couldn't. I'm not a leader, so But it would. Let me put it this way: it would be difficult. I understand that that's difficult. I get that. Okay, but it's also part of your job. It's not part of your job to be worshipped. That's corruption. That's a totalitarian spirit, right? If you have that desire, or if you have that expectation, or if you work to inculcate or develop that standard for yourself, or that environment for yourself, and you're basically sealing your own destruction if you train people to not question you. I mean, there's a bunch of, but the biggest reason is most people don't criticize. So it's not like it's a huge deal. I mean, most people just come and go. They don't really care. They don't care about anything beyond, hey, make sure the music is good. Give me a message that makes me feel good. And I really don't care about anything else. Make sure the place is clean, and, and I want to have some nice activities for my kids. And, and that's not critical. I'm just saying it's just a fact. Most people just don't care about issues, about ideas, about, yeah, they just don't care, right? The vast majority, like 95%. So when you get, sort of like a fringe 2 to 5% of people who actually care, and then you get mad at them, it's like, wow, that's heavy. That's heavy. That's like that's like a red flashing light on it. That's like an engine light. Something's wrong, something's wrong. So I think I want to get back to this because I enjoyed it, but I also think it's critical. I think it's critical to save leaders from their own destruction, because a leader who doesn't know how to entertain criticism is on the path to self-destruction. And I don't mean they're on the path to financial destruction. I don't mean they're on the path to having their careers destroyed. No, I don't mean that. I mean spiritual destruction. I mean falling under the judgment of God. You could be Joel Osteen. You could have a $1 billion operation. I mean, I'm not talking about that. Okay. As a matter of fact, probably the best way to become successful is to make sure nobody criticizes you, because then you have this bigger than life persona, and people like that. People are attracted to that because people just want to feel good, and that makes people feel good to have this icon that they can sort of live through vicariously, and they think, oh well, I was here, and that guy's amazing, so I'm amazing. It's like, people don't realize it doesn't work that way. But they don't realize it doesn't work that way, so they think it works that way. So that's why they're attracted to people that are above, that inculcate and develop a public persona that communicates that they're above criticism. It's like they're perfect, or they're near perfect, or they're superhuman, or they're some kind of quasi saint or whatever, right? But that's not the model that Jesus left for us at all. Jesus specifically singled out the leaders for criticism, and I don't think that because you're criticized that means you're bad. It just means you might have a vulnerable area or a vulnerable point that needs to be addressed. It doesn't mean you're bad. It just means this area over here is slipping, or maybe you've never really addressed it, and now God is bringing it to your attention, and or maybe the person who's doing the criticizing is wrong. Okay, that's possible too, right? But he should be, or she should be able to express themselves, So, all right, I won't ramble, but let's do this some more. Doctor, I don't know if he's a doctor, but Ken Whitten is the senior pastor out at Idlewild, and I don't know, huge church, huge, mega church. Yeah, I don't know, probably good. Actually, the church is amazing. The church is amazing, to be honest with you. And I don't know the guy, but I'm an empath. I'm an intuitive. It's like there's a couple little things there. There's like some weirdness. There's a little bit of weirdness. So God bless you. We're gonna get back to this. We're gonna name names. We're gonna name institutions, because people have to be able to express themselves. And nobody, no leader, no public leader who has public influence should just be able to skate by without being brought under the microscope on a regular basis. I mean, a leader with integrity actually enjoys being brought under the microscope, because please show me something about me that needs to be addressed, please, because I want to be good, and I want to be better than I am tomorrow. I want to be better than I am today, and the day after tomorrow I want to be better than I am tomorrow. So please, by all means, that's the way a good leader is. A bad leader gets angry and throws a temper tantrum like Tim Whipple did, and Dr. Glen Money did, and this other guy out at Grace Community did. And to me, that's the fail-proof test of the character of a man, how they react to criticism. You learn absolutely nothing about a person by being nice to them. Nothing. Because, except in the most extreme cases, but I'm not talking about the extreme cases. In general, the vast majority, when you're nice to people, they're going to be nice to you back. I mean, a homeless beggar is going to be nice to you if you're nice to them. Somebody who just got released from prison, who was in prison for some heinous, possibly even violent crime. If you're nice to them, they're probably going to be nice to you back. That doesn't mean they're a nice person. That's just like, if you meet an alligator or a crocodile and you don't abuse it, chances are it's just going to go on by. It's not going to attack you, or a shark. But if you start being mean to an alligator or a crocodile or a gangster or something, you're you're inviting your own destruction because they're going to react in a violent way, okay? And so when you are critical or mean, even, let's just take it to the furthest extreme, and I don't remember ever being mean, but critical, yes, but not mean. Let's go all the way and say, if you're mean to somebody and they react in kind, right? Well, then they're no better than a crocodile or a gangster, right? And likewise, if you're critical of somebody, they get angry. It's like, okay, well, you got issues. You don't really deserve to be a leader because you're just a regular old Joe. I mean, any regular old Joe, if you're critical of them, they're going to get angry. It's like a family member. You're critical of them, they're going to get angry at you. Because why? Because they're just a regular old Joe. They're not any kind of special person. They don't deserve to be a leader because there's nothing special about them, right? Leaders are supposed to be special. That's why you're a leader, right? And if you're not special and you are a leader, then you need to have that addressed. And if you refuse to have it addressed, then maybe you need to be taken out of your leadership position, right? I mean, you're supposed to be leading us out of the crocodile and the gangster mindset, not leading us into the crocodile and the gangster mindset, right? So, all right, that's 21 minutes. That's it's crazy how fast time flies. But anyway, I mean, I guess I'm going to be getting my social media accounts deleted on a regular basis. And like I said, Patriot Street Fighter Scott McKay and Michael Jaco and this other lady that I just friended on Facebook and different people. I mean, all kind of people. I guess it's just something that we have to deal with. And it's painful. It's frustrating. It's hard. It's demoralizing. And they know it. And that's why they do it. This is censorship. This is totalitarianism. But this is what we're dealing with. And guess what? None of these preachers care. They don't care. Leaders are supposed to be the voice of the voiceless. True leaders, real leaders, godly leaders. Real leaders are supposed to stand up for people when they have their voice taken away, or when they're too weak to have a voice, like the unborn or the human trafficked, or and I mean, there's been like 100 news reports in Tampa Bay and Orlando about human trafficking operations being busted up. These preachers, they never say anything. They don't say anything. And if you look at Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1, and also in Ezekiel, I think, there's a verse in Ezekiel, it says, if you hear a report about some injustice and you say nothing about it, you're liable. I mean, now, Ken Whitten at Idlewild, he has a little thing in the lobby with a little banner and blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't work for me. No, you, as a leader, in my book, you got to wake up every day and put it all on the line. Every day. You can't go into protection mode. You can't go into like mother hen protecting your eggs and making sure, I got 5 eggs today. Tomorrow I got to wake up and I got to have 5 eggs, maybe 6. You can't do that. Every single day as a leader, it's your job. That's why you're a leader. You got to wake up and put it all on the line and be willing to go back to zero. Every single day, back to zero, or -5. And then, okay, fine, no problem. I'll build it back up again, But, people are having their voice taken away every single day. And some people, it's even worse. They're having their merchant accounts canceled. I mean, we're like this close from mass suspension of bank accounts. I mean, this close. There's concentration camps in Australia. There's reports of concentration camps in Australia. I'm sure that's a coincidence. But anyway, and I mean that's just a coincidence. I'm not being sarcastic. But, they don't care. They don't care. Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1. They don't care about, they don't call them concentration camps. They call them isolation camps. Come on. They don't care. I mean, no. And a little banner in the lobby you personally have to get up in front of the people and take a stand for justice and righteousness. And people like me having our voice taken away by people like Dr. Glen Money out of First Baptist Church, St. Petersburg, and the leadership of St. First, if that's what they did, which, like I said, I believe they did, but it's circumstantial. It's not, I don't have proof. It's just circumstantial. That's evil. I mean, that's totalitarianism. That's bad. I mean, and you think you're going to laugh at me? You're next, right? The character and the nature of a totalitarianism is in their title, Totalitarianism, total. They want total control. They just start chewing away at the edges, crazy extremists like me, but once they eat away at the edges, they don't stop eating. They keep eating. They don't lose their appetite. They gain an appetite. The further in, once they get the taste of blood, and by blood I mean the taste of other people's rights, right? Once they get that flavor, it becomes like a feeding frenzy, and they start taking away everybody's rights, right? So if First Baptist Church St. Petersburg really did have anything to do with me having my social media account deleted, okay, then in my opinion, you are under the judgment of God. I mean, that is profound historic level evil, okay? But we're at 26 minutes already. God bless you, everybody. God bless you all. God bless our leaders. And when I say God bless you, I don't mean I'm going to stop being critical. That's not what I mean at all. Yeah, I'm a participant. I'm not a passive observer. I'm a participant. Okay, and I'm just going to say what I think. And God bless me. I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to be punished. I don't want to have my voice taken away because somebody doesn't like what I have to say. I mean, I'd rather you criticize me than cancel me. I'd rather you criticize me than take my